Hello everyone, Yorû here, and today I'm gonna show you how you can create a post on Killerskins. So first what you wanna do is of course register and do the whole registration progress, which is only written in a post on the website in this one. This one shows you how you can register and all that stuff, and also a bit of a tutorial on how to create a post. But I'm gonna go into maybe a bit more detail, maybe a bit less, but I'm just gonna show you the progress. So let's just go into the Killerskins backend. If you don't have that bar on the top showing, you can also just type in wp-admin behind the killerskins.com, then you also should end up here. If it gives you an error or something, that means you just aren't properly registered yet. Then you want to go into posts and then add new. Now you're just in the normal WordPress editor. I'm just gonna start off with writing the title. Then you want to go into the three dots, then go to plugins and then templates. Go to my templates, and then you want to choose one of those which fits your name. So if you have a HUD mod, you can take this one, a font mod, this one of course, and I have a champion skin, so I'm gonna choose this one. So now you get a bunch of grayed out text first of all. Now, as it says here, those are just instructions, meaning they won't show up in the post at all in the end. Now, this one is written here because when you don't have an excerpt text, it shows the first part of text as your preview, for example, on Google or also on Discord. So we just put it there, but I'm also going to show you how you can write a custom text. So now you have the table of contents, which gets automatically generated by amount of headings there are. So if you delete the heading, it also gets deleted from here, so you don't have to touch that at all. Now about the mod information. Now, as a champion skin, you just want to write down which champion you have, of course. And then which skin it replaces or modifies. In my case, it's the default. Then here, of course, my name. Then the mod version, usually on your first time posting is 1.0, but I'm gonna repost an old mod of mine, so I'm gonna make it 1.1. I'm just gonna write down updated skin from 2017. You don't have to write anything here, you could just delete it. And this one you have to fill out, because for example, if it would replace Infernal Diana, I would write that down, but since it just goes over default, you don't have any special requirements, so you can just delete that. Now for the features. You usually should know, of course, what features your mod has. So usually most of the things here could apply or don't, so you just need to delete things. You rarely should have to add new things. So I don't have a voiceover or ability sounds, I don't have new animations, I have new particles, I don't have in-game or skill icons, but I have a new loading screen, champion quality, texture quality settings, which is a requirement for your mod. By the way, if your mod does not have that, it won't be accepted. But yeah, more I don't have right now. So about the mod. This is if you want to write more stuff about the mod that is too much for the description line here. So I don't have anything here, so I'm just gonna delete the whole area with the heading. Then credits. I wanna give some credits because 2 people helped me with improving her textures. Now what I also like to do, even though it is not mandatory, is write down which model parts are used. But as I said, this is not mandatory, but if you use some kind of fan art, if you got help by someone, then maybe just write down like credits, because that's just nice to do if it's not mandatory. And then now this is the part where you have to tell more about your mod that are important to know. For example, if there are any known issues. For example, if there's a bit of a buggy texture, if something is broken which you don't know how to fix right now, but the mod works mostly fine either way, but I don't have that. Then additional installation instructions is necessary, for example, if your mod comes in multiple parts. For example, if you divided up the model itself and the particles, or if there are different mod files for different languages, but I don't have that, so I'm gonna skip that. And important usage information. There are multiple things you can write down. Can't think of anything right now. If there, for example, if you have two versions of a mod and you can only have one at the same time and other things. So what I want to do now is select all those blocks, including the gray line, because I don't need anything of those, and also just remove them. So then the preview. There you can insert an image if you want, which I don't, because I don't need to right now, simply. Now there's the image gallery. This one is actually, I'm just going to show you. So if you have an image, you can just drag and drop in something here, or you can go to media library and upload it here, and then just select an image, and you're done. Then for the image gallery, this is important. This one you should use if you have multiple images you want to show, because if you just insert multiple images like this or in a normal gallery, you cannot click on them, but in the image gallery, you can click on them and enlarge them. So in order to add images, you click on the block, which has no items were found because you haven't selected anything yet. Then on the right side, it says image settings. And then you just click on add images. Then you click one image and hold shift and select multiple ones. And then you have your images added, which already do the little thing when you hover over them. And then when you, in the post itself, you can click on them. Now what we're gonna do is embed a YouTube video. So first you just wanna get the video link of your video. It does not always have to be by you if it's an old mod and the video is by the original creator, but I would recommend still making your own. However, keep in mind you don't have to have a YouTube video for everything, and don't mind that, it's kind of buggy right now, I don't know. For example, it's enough if you have images. If you have a sound mod, you need a YouTube video, however, to showcase the sounds. But you always need some form of preview. Now download in socials. So this is important note to go to the additional installation instructions again. But since I don't have any, I will delete that. Note that it automatically links back to it. Then the next one is again if it replaces another skin other than default, but mine doesn't, so I'm also gonna delete that. Then here's a download link. So important that you delete the brackets. And then you just write down the name of your mod. And then how you want to upload it. You have to upload it on an external source. I personally use Google Drive. But you can also use Mediafire. You can use Mega, but please don't use it for big mods as it can be buggy. Keep in mind when you use Google Drive that you have general access set to any one of the link as a viewer, otherwise people won't be able to access it. Then just copy the link and paste it here. Make sure that you re-enable open a new tab. Now what you can do here if you want to link any social media name. For example, you can write down Twitter and then your username, or I'm just gonna delete the whole thing and just write my socials, because I'm gonna be using a link tree, which is just a thing you often see on Instagram, for example, where you can link all your things in one place. Now, as the last part, you want to write down your Discord name and your tag, because people should be able to contact you about your mod through the server, hopefully. But yeah, I'm just gonna write mine down. And then this thing you have to leave if you have a Google Drive download, which I have, because this explains it a bit. Because as you can see, if you just click on here, it actually opens up the Phantom file, because it's treated as a zip file. So, and people usually get confused and don't really see that there's a download thing, and they will end up trying to download like single files or anything. Now for the changelog, you have to write down the first release date, which usually is the date you are posting on. In my case, since it's an old mod, I will write another date. And keep in mind that's always day, month, and then year. So not the American date, for example. Now, if you want to add another changelog, let's say you update your mod and so you edit your post. What you want to do is not just import the changelog, but type in real, and then you get the real changelog. As you can see, there are quite some options. Now, first, before you want to type in anything, you click on those two squares, which says convert to regular blocks. Just click on that. Now you can change the thing. So now I'm just gonna change the date again to what is actually today. So now you just want to type in what you changed exactly. And if you, for example, have multiple of the same ones, let's say you want to write down that you moved two things, just copy the thing and just paste it like that again if you have multiple of the same thing and you don't want to write it all in one line. But yeah, then just remove what you didn't do. And also remove the first line, which is there because if you want to have an empty changelog, you actually need to have the first stop there, otherwise it will be bugged. Because WordPress is just dumb like that, I guess. And then there we go, that's the changelog done. And now, as it says here, do not touch anything below this, because those are instructions and things that are needed on every post. So you have to have that one there. So yeah, that's the post itself done. Now we're gonna go into the post settings. So this one you don't have to touch, same as the permalink, which will get updated as soon as you usually save as a draft, and then refresh. Okay, as you can see, I saved the draft, and now I have a thing here. Now for categories. First, you will always want to have the mods category checked, but that always gets auto-checked on posts. Then you have to see what your mod is about. So as you can see, the bigger categories are further out. Now, what I want to do is I have a champions mod, so I'll check that. This mods containing sounds is an extra if you have some sounds in your mod, but it's not purely a sounds mod. I don't have that, so I'm not going to do that. It's also not an old champion. Now it is a remodel, which means it has a new model. And then I'm going to give new skins, because it's a newly made model. And not just a full-on model on a champion, or another champion on a new champion. And yeah, there are a bunch of other categories. They will be linked on in the description as well, the explanation for them, because it can be maybe a bit difficult at first to make it right. So then select primary term. We don't really know what it actually does, but just select the lowest category you selected. Now what you want to do for tags. What I like to do and a bunch of others is add your the tag of your your name. So it's just in the tags as well. Then you add the champion, which has to be written the exact same way it is in League of Legends. Also, like if you have a Cho'Gath mod like this with the Apps trophy, then I like to write down the, or you just write down the champion, like theme, the skin, thematic, whatever. And that's about it. There's no other mandatory things. Maybe if you are part of an event, you have to always add an event tag, but that's just the mandatory things. Now next is the featured image. The featured image is what's gonna appear first on in the post, like the first complete image that shows in your post. So you don't have to add it by hand. It will automatically place before the post if you add the featured image. As you can see, there's none here because I didn't add a featured image, but it's gonna appear there. And I actually forgot to delete the gallery. Whoops. But yeah, as you can see, if you click on preview and preview in the new tab, you can always check your post how it's gonna look in the end. But yeah, the featured image template is also linked in the creator resources post. So I'm just gonna go ahead and edit. So again, just click on here, then you get the featured, like the media library, drag and drop in your file, let it load quickly, and then just click on set featured image. And now, as you can see in a bit when it has loaded, there is the image above the post. I didn't add it in the post, and yeah. So now here it says excerpt. As I said at the beginning, normally you will see this text on like Google or something, but if you write in an excerpt, it will show this instead. So a proper text instead of just the placeholder. So like what I like to write is basically just that. So it's a bit more exact than just League of Legends mod. But yeah, send to Discord doesn't matter as much, but just leave it checked. It's kind of bugged, so don't be surprised. Now what it's gonna say for you, instead of publish, it's gonna say submit for review or something like that. It's just something because if you start out on Killerskins, you won't be able to finish your posts on your own. You have to submit them, which is also written in the on the other post, like you will get enough information how to properly submit it, but you won't be able to submit it at first because you might not be familiar with WordPress or the posting in general, so just want to check back if it's everything correct. But if you have enough perfect posts, as we call it, you're gonna be able to become author and post on your own after a while. So now I'm just gonna check if everything's perfect. Featured image or the categories. They're sadly not in order, but we haven't found out how to fix that yet. And as you can see, all the table of content headings I removed, which I don't need, are gone. The video is still bugged for some reason, but as you can see, it actually plays. So that's not an issue. The download link works. Now keep in mind you are not allowed to use any link weird stuff except, like, for example, Bitly, if you want to track your downloads, like how often the link is clicked at least, because the website can't do it on its own. Mediafire can also track the downloads. I don't know about Mega, but yeah. So if you want to know how many people downloaded your stuff, use Mediafire or Bitly. goes to my link tree. As you can see, it's all a bit bugged because I have enabled dark pages on, so don't mind that. Here's a proper changelog. Now, if you did not convert the block, it will also be bugged and like not update to your text, but that's all good. And here is the stuff you aren't supposed to touch because it's just gonna look the same on every post. But yeah, then I'm just gonna go ahead and actually publish it. Now it's live, and I'm just gonna click on view post, and there we go. It's there. Now it's also gonna show up on the front page. There we go. And it's also gonna show up on Discord now, under champion skins, because we have a bot which auto posts, but as you can see, it double posted. So staff members is just gonna have to delete one of the things. But yeah, there we go. That's how you post on Killerskins. Now, as I said, there will also be this tutorial for all the written things. I'm gonna link that, and this post is here for the additional resources you need. For example, here you can download the featured image, and there's like here's the categories explanation, which is quite a lot. I'm sorry. And there are also some tags. For example, there are also some skin thematics for specific events where I like to link to all the older skins there are, which are not the new event skins. So those should be included. And there are always some reusable blocks, which are just reused through a lot of posts on the website. Here's a bit of an explanation on what needs to be done with the posts. For example, some just need to be converted, some must be converted and the date must be edited. They must be converted and also edited, and converted and images must be edited, which is for galleries. So yeah, I hope this tutorial helped you if you had some troubles with posting before, and if there are any more questions, there's also the creator chat on our Discord, which is exactly for something like that, and you also gonna get feedback on your submissions, which is gonna be here. So you just write down which post you have, and then people are gonna take a look at it when they get to it. But yeah, see ya guys!